the senses. And there's only one way to restrain the senses in a way that has some continuity and sustainability. And that is by fixing the consciousness on Krishna. Param dristva nivartate. Vishayava nivartante niraharasya dehina. Rasavara jamarasopyasya param dristva nivartate. It's very, very difficult to restrain the senses and the mind from their objects unless we experience a higher taste. And that is what bhakti is about. Trying to keep our mind always fixed on a higher taste. Tapodivyam putraka yena sattvam. Human life is especially meant for tapasya, austerity. Austerity means, even if it causes trouble, even if it causes great pain, even if there is no higher taste, we will do the right thing, and gradually the higher taste awakens. Being a neophyte devotee is a difficult situation, because to try to give up mental and physical sense gratification is very, very arduous. And if we're experiencing a higher taste, it's not such a problem. But if we're not experiencing a higher taste, it's very difficult. But a neophyte devotee is not always experiencing a higher taste. Sometimes we get some little hints of that higher taste. Even those hints can keep us going our whole life. But sometimes even the hints aren't there. It's like you're in a desert, yes? And Maya's presenting so much nice, fresh, cool, poisonous waters. It's very difficult. You know it's poison, but it doesn't look like poison. And she doesn't say, she's trying to convince you it's actually nutritious. It's nectar. Krishna tells in Gita, what tasted like nectar in the beginning is poison in the end. And what tastes like poison in the beginning is nectar in the end. Now, to keep that teaching in our mind is the subject matter of our intelligence. This is actually intelligence, to know, to remember, and to act on this, that what tastes like nectar in the beginning tastes like poison in the end. Now, how many of you enjoy drinking poison? How many of you enjoy drinking nectar? What tastes like nectar in the beginning is poison in the end. So poison doesn't always taste good. But by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by the mercy of Radha Gopinath, by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, we can even get some taste of nectar, of real nectar. Therefore, tapasya means whether we're tasting the sweet ecstasy of the holy name or not, we chant with full attention. Whether we're tasting the sweet nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam or not, we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, we read Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. Whether we're seeing the beautiful threefold bending form and feeling love in our heart or not, we come before the deity and offer our life and our service. The idle mind is the devil's workshop. In the Bible, there's an explanation. Before Lord Jesus began his mission of preaching, he was tested in the wilderness by the devil, Satan. And Satan was giving him so many offerings. He was offering him sense gratification, gross. But that was Jesus, just get out of here. And then he offered him prestige, fame, power. He offered him to be the king of the entire world. I will give you the power to control the world. Just take it. And Jesus said, get out from here. Never come by. I never want to see your face. Hare Krishna. So temptations. Maya will present so many temptations. Therefore, in order to overcome them with sustainability, we have to fill our mind and fill our senses with purifying spiritual activities. Whether it feels good or not, whether it tastes good or not. It's very important that we are busy. Because if our lifestyle is idle, then our mind, unless we're very, very strong in our realization, our mind becomes very, very affected. So Prabhupada, he was preaching to people who controlling the mind wasn't even a thought that they ever considered in their life. Because factually, what Western civilization very much is about, in its modern context of enjoyment, is the more you just become a slave of your mind and senses, the more you enjoy. Yes? Eat, drink, smoke, have sex, animalistic. And if you go to the colleges in the West, and sometimes even here in India, and you say that just this eating, just this sense gratification is a life of an animal. You should not be an animal, you should be a human being. And people become offended. They say, what's wrong with being an animal? We want to be animals. They actually want to be animals. Animals don't have restrictions. So to them, this is liberation, to be an animal. There's no restriction. And some people may say it in a more sophisticated way, but that's really what it means. Therefore, it is very important, Prabhupada explained, that we should keep very busy. Because unless we're on a very, very advanced platform of Krishna consciousness, the mind is an unchaste wife. And the senses and their objects are so many paramours. Yes? And when the mind focuses on enjoying the objects of the senses through the senses, we should understand that the mind is the unchaste wife that is enjoying with others. And it's not just an opinion. This is the evaluation of Shukadev Goswami.